We all love reading short stories, but when it comes to writing one, we seldom get it right. I wrote a book, a collection of short stories in 2021. This has 21 short stories, and while writing it, I came across a lot of problems and I found many solutions, many ways in which you can simplify writing a short story. This video will help you not only to write a perfect short story but also come up with ideas and different ways that you can improve your writing and improve your storytelling techniques, especially when it comes to a short story, because short stories are a different ball game altogether. So let's get started. The first tip is read more short stories. Now, this might be very obvious, but we seldom follow this advice. Short stories are different from your normal novels because you have a very little amount of duration, a little amount of page space to describe your characters. So every now and then, wherever you're getting time, listen to a short story. If you don't have time to read it, listen to audio stories. There are many apps and many websites that provide that. And not just listen to them but also take down notes. Yeah, take down notes. If you like a line, write it down. If you like something, if you like a paragraph, if you like a character, just mark it. Yes, it doesn't matter if it is a new book or old book. Just get it out of your system that you cannot highlight pages of your book. Okay, when you're reading a short story, highlight stuff that you like, keep it in the back of your mind, and I promise you, when you're writing your next story, it will ignite some or the other new thought in your mind. Also, study the characters in the short stories, and read short stories from different eras, retro, scientific, sci fi, every genre. Keep reading short stories of every genre. Before we move on to the next step, I would like you to organize yourself before you start writing your short story. Okay, the next tip is the big idea. Yes, we all want to write the best of the stories, but we are stuck at the big idea many times. You should know what your big idea is. It is about a fight between the king and the queen and the soldiers, or it is about a robotic cyborg kind of a feel, kind of a plot where everything is going downhill and your character is facing a lot of stuff, or it is a heist in someone where someone is looting a bank. What is it? Is it a romantic story between two people? It is between two characters or four characters? What is it? The relationship between the characters, how they are going to converse, where the setup is very important for a short story because you have little time to develop all of this stuff. So have the big idea in your mind, polish it before you start writing your short story. Know what your plot is, know what your big changing idea is. It can have multiple characters, you can have a slight, you know, bias for some characters. You can keep going on this once you have the big idea, but that big idea of having what the story is about is very important before you write your short story, before you even start your writing your short story. The next tip, this is extremely crucial, the structure of your short story. I have seen many writers struggle with this and extremely badly because I myself have struggled with this a lot. I have taken printout for many things which discuss the structure. I have taken printouts of worksheets, but they just don't work. What works is knowing the type of structure your story is going to have. I know this is difficult for many writers, but just in your head, think it is a hero's journey, is it a 3 act one, or it is a plot points. If you want to know this in detail, do let me know in comments. I will make another video about this. But the structure is very important, where your story is going to start, where it is going to end. Is your story starting in middle of an action, middle of a fight, in middle of a heist, or is it starting somewhere where someone is waking up in the morning, or is it starting at a party? And what is the end? What is the structure? What are the hook points? What are the pinch points that you're going to set? This is very important. So once you get the big idea, plan the structure of your story. It is just like a painting. If you're an artist, if you also paint, you'll understand, you need to know where the eyes are going to go, where the nose is going to go, where the eyebrows are going to set up. That is exactly that. The next point is extremely important: the characters. Yeah, you heard it right. There are many characters in a short story, like in the novel, but you need to plan the character's background and the arc. There will be some characters having absolutely simple backgrounds, like a tea stall owner or a delivery man, but there will be big characters and your lead characters, protagonists, who will have a big background and a huge arc. And these are the characters that you need to plan very, very, very carefully. And also the supporting characters, the characters your protagonist and your antagonist interact with. These are extremely important. You have to understand and you have to develop it in your head: what is going to shock them, what is going to make them happy, what is going to make them sad, what is going to make them angry. And all this, you have to fit it in your short story, and you cannot deviate from some things. You cannot make someone dislike eggs and in your next scene that person is eating eggs happily. So these are some things that you need to remember about characters. And also you need to plan having more characters. I would always suggest have at least 4 characters in your story, because that gives the story an interesting read. Especially if it is a short story, there needs to be supporting characters. Though I have read many short stories with only 2 characters, one antagonist and the supporting character, and the situation is the uh, protagonist or antagonist. Yeah, so you need to know your characters, their habits, their interactions with each other, their journey in the story, when the story begins, what the character was, and when the story ends, what the character becomes. The last and the most important part of this tip is the perfect ending. The ending of your story is as important as the beginning of your story, and I would recommend you guys to craft the perfect ending that makes the audience and the readers feel wow, because that is the point that they are going to pass a judgment if the story was good enough or not. I have seen many writers struggle with this, and I myself have struggled with this a lot, because I have a huge obsession with endings. I don't like stories that don't end well, and the best way to do this is to bring together everything in complete harmony. When you're writing the story, you're opening many loops, you're creating many situations, you're creating problems, but those problems need to get solved in the end, or you need to make a commentary on them. You need to say what happened and how, and you need to close the loops. If you're writing a heist story, you need to create a conflict resolution at the end. You can't just say the heist happened, and you can't just not say what happened to the characters. Did they get caught, did they not get caught, are they planning another heist, where are the characters, what is the ending? The ending is what your characters are dying for, if I might say. They just need this ending, because that is what the purpose in the story was. So whenever you're writing your short story, make sure you understand your endings very well. Many a times I have had ideas about stories, about their endings first, and their beginnings I will have to work backwards to start where to start the story. So this happens to me a lot. If that happens to you, well, great. This is a bonus tip, don't miss this one. If you want, you can also pause this video and take down this list or take a screenshot, whatever, but I really want you guys to read these short stories. These are free to read, I suppose. These are extremely amazing short stories, and it will ignite your brain, and it will ignite your creative thoughts. The Yellow Wallpaper is a must read, guys. Do read these short stories. And of course, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. And if you like this video, do let me know in comments what other video on writing would you like to watch. Thank you for watching.